Secretary Severson for the roll call.
Senator Ball. Here. Senator Berry.
Present.
Senator Branham. Here. Senator Collister.
Here.
Senator Connor.
Here.
Senator DeCall.
Here.
Senator Dominguez.
Present.
Senator Fornerado.
Here.
Senator Hornsby. Senator Hurtado.
Present.
Senator Johnson.
Present.
Senator Muir.
Here.
Senator Ortiz.
Present.
Senator Price.
Present.
Senator Rosales.
Present.
Senator Sidwee.
Present.
Senator Withers.
Present.
Senator Worley.
Here.
All right, now if you'd all stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Senator Collister.
I move to approve last meeting's minutes.
It has been moved by Senator Collister to approve last week's minutes, seconded by Senator Rosales. Unanimous has been called. Seeing no objections, last week's minutes are approved. Senator Collister.
I move to approve this week's agenda.
Second.
It has been moved by Senator Collister to approve this week's agenda, seconded by Senator Sudweeks. Unanimous has been called. Seeing no objections, this week's agenda is approved. I will now open the gallery for anyone who would like to approach.
Good evening, Senators. So it is the end of March. Well, it's the end of March for Senate terms. So your checklist is due tomorrow at 5 p.m. Please submit it by then. Please note also that the April checklist will be moved forward a week from what is on your schedules to the day after the banquet. That would be April 21st. So if you have that still in your binder, please just mark it forward to 1 week ahead. So you will not be required to do office hours or meetings or anything like that during Dead Week. That's my report. So are there any questions for me tonight? Great.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
Hello, Senators. I know Senator Withers mentioned to you earlier in caucus about the budget. So I wanted to come and just kind of give you an update, a couple of things to look forward to in the weeks after spring break or even during spring break if you have time to take a look at the budget. Anyway, so as he mentioned, we will want the ASISU budget on Lowell's desk April 7th. So that means it has to be approved by Finance Committee and the Senate on the 6th. So I will be sharing the document that we have. It's in Google Sheets so that you guys can go in and look at some of our proposed cuts on certain line items. And any suggestions or comments that you have, you can bring to Senate the Wednesday after spring break, or feel free to email me with any suggestions, questions. I'm open, and I will try to address them in a timely manner. So, just a couple of details about the proposed budget that we have so far. It's likely that we have the Bengal newspaper move completely digital. And then some other cuts that we're looking into will come from KISU, International Affairs Council, and well, I'll just send you the budget and you can look at it. And then with the proposed cuts on the spreadsheet, we will have about $4,000 in surplus to reallocate to other line items. So with your suggestions and comments and questions that you bring to Senate the week after spring break, keep that in mind. Keep some of those line items that you think may deserve more funding that has had significant impact on students. So anyway, yeah, just keep that in mind. Are there any questions or comments for me? Okay, well, thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Kadrick. Is there anyone else who would like to approach? Seeing none, we'll move on to our announcements and correspondence, starting with a new tide. And if you could please state and spell your full name for the minutes, please.
Hello, Senators. My name is Sydney Axtell, SYDNEYAXTELL, and I'm the Economics Club president here on the ISU campus. And this year, the Economics Club is focusing a lot on environmental issues in the business world and in the economy. So in September, I was able to take myself and 6 other members of the Economics Club down to San Diego for a conference put on by a nonprofit called, the event was called A Place at the Table. Essentially what I'm doing is I am taking my experience from this conference and bringing it to the Pacific Northwest, which would be a new tide. And NEW is actually an acronym for Northwestern Environmental Unconference. So an unconference is not like the conferences that just happened in the previous weekend. So Frank Church or GenSex, those conferences were very academic and just presentations of interesting research happening currently. An unconference is something that the participants of the conference, so the attendees of the conference, are actually the ones who are doing the presenting by the end of the conference, and they're the ones that drive the results. So with this conference, we are going to have 20 tables set up with what I will hopefully have 6 people at each table. And each table is going to be assigned with a different environmental or sustainable issue. So these issues could be anything from nutrition to sustainable fashion, sustainable building, alternative energy, something that applies to each and every one of us. So once these teams are formed, the students, educators, business owners, policymakers, anyone who's on that team needs to narrow down this broad sustainable issue into a more tangible problem that they can eventually in these 2 days solve with a new and innovative solution, which at the end of the conference, they'll actually be pitching the solution as kind of a Shark Tank type of deal in front of the rest of the teams, as well as a panel of 7 judges. So what I'm asking here is not only to invite all of you to participate in this event, A New Tide, but also to ask to see if ASISU would be interested in sponsoring the event by purchasing seats at this event. And so my advisor has asked that I suggest a number of 50, but whatever the Senate might be comfortable with would be fantastic. But I'm also here just to let you know and invite you to this conference, because I feel as though senators at the Idaho State campus, you could be very good representatives and also innovative people that would contribute to this conference. I also want to let you know that the winners of the teams of this conference are going to be receiving prizes, and the solutions that come out of the conference, I have seen from previous conferences similar to this one, people go and create a business out of this, or educators find new directions for their research. Policymakers have implemented policy into, in San Diego, they've implemented new sustainable policy actually into the San Diego city law. So that would be an interesting standpoint for you as senators to possibly take these sustainable solutions and place them in the Idaho State University campus policy. I don't really know how to say that, but that's what I have for you today. So, oh, also, if you want to look at the website for it, I know it's on the agenda, A New Tide. It's just anewtide.com. So, yeah, thank you.
If you could stay seated, they might have a few questions.
Okay.
Senator Connor.
How much are the seats?
$20.16.
And the seats will be made available to ISU students?
Yes. So if ASISU decided to sponsor it, ASISU would ultimately get to decide who it was that got to take those seats.
Senator Barry.
When was this?
Oh, April 15th and 16th, and it's from 9 to 5 on both days at the Ramada Inn.
Senator Withers.
Thank you, Vice President Belknap. Sydney, I just wanted to say I appreciate you and your club taking on the initiative to put on such an engaging and innovative conference or unconference. I think that the topic is incredibly interesting, and I don't know if I speak for everyone, but I would definitely be interested in seeing how I could help out.
Very
So,
perfect.
thank you.
Are there any further questions? Seeing none, thank you. All right, next we will hear from Val Davids.
Good evening, Senators. First, I wanted to thank you guys for the delicious cupcakes, and I think that was really nice from your committee for bringing those in, and I want to say thank you for that. And I wanted to thank those of you who were able to be there at our Springfest activities last week. We really appreciated all your support, so thank you for that. Tonight, I have two constitutions, and these groups have both looked at their constitutions and updated their constitutions. And the first one is Greek Council. And just so you know, we read those constitutions, and where's the Noah? He knows too, every semester. So, and it's funny, we'll just find little things all the time. And I'm going to turn the time over to Katrina to have her tell you some of the things we did change in the Constitution.
Do I need to spell my name for the minutes? Okay. KATRINACHAPMAN. So like Val said, we go through and read our Constitution every single semester, and we still find really silly changes. Like the first thing on my list for you guys is that we capitalize the T in treasurer. It's very, very funny I don't know how we've missed that, but I have personally read the Constitution 8 different times. So we just find little things. Again, we changed members from being plural to member. We added multicultural so that it encompasses all the different Greeks that we have here on campus. We added in a responsibility for all of our delegates, and it is stated to serve on committees to which they are appointed and to aid in the success of these committees in any way possible. We also went through and added in a line that says if a member is found in violation of these standards, members organization may be subject to a fine payable to Greek Council. Other repercussions for the member may be made in the discretion of the Judiciary Board. We added that also to our bylaws since it wasn't stated in there. And then we removed a duty from the secretary's position that was to archive past meetings minutes because it's all done on a computer now anyway. So we got rid of that. That's really all we changed to our Constitution. But Val also asked me to let you guys know of a couple of things that Greek Council's been changing this semester. So we implemented a bunch of blue ribbon events to kind of get our Greek community more involved. We've done a Can Castle food drive for Benny's Pantry. We did a Bigger Better scavenger hunt with items we donated to Goodwill to help the community. And then we last night did lip sync events. They're all on Facebook and they're hilarious. Go find them. They're on our Greek Council public page. Really, really entertaining. That's all I've got. Thank you, guys. Do you have any questions on the changes we made to the Constitution?
Senator Branham.
I move to approve the Constitution change for Greek Council.
Second.
It has been moved by Senator Branham, seconded by Senator Withers. Unanimous has been called. Seeing no objections, the Constitution change is approved.
Thank you, guys.
The second constitution tonight is the League of Legends. And this group was not active last year. However, Dylan has taken it upon himself and activated this group again this semester, and I have learned a lot about this group. So, and I'm hoping he will share some of that because I didn't realize it was as kind of a national group, right?
Yeah.
It's national, which I was unaware of that. International. See, I learned another thing just right now. And but he did go through this Constitution and updated the Constitution, and has got this club up and going. So I'm going to turn the time over to Dylan.
So for the minutes, my name is Dylan Hoy, DILLONHOY. Okay. So I guess you guys just want me to tell you a little bit about the club. What it is, League of Legends is an esport. So what that means is it's a video game that's taken very seriously. Basically, there's a collegiate league aside from the professional league for this game that's played on the computers, and we would like to enter into that circuit. And so we have to, have official sponsorship through the school, and it's actually a really good opportunity for a lot of students because if you progress far enough in that league, they actually hand out scholarships per player, and it's something that's televised. People watch this every weekend. Every large university across the United States has a team, and some even offer scholarships from the university to come play. So it's basically, in certain universities, it's regarded as an actual sport. But we want to try and start that at our campus. 2 years ago, the guy who started it, he actually works for Riot, who's now who is the company who produces this game. So it gives a lot of people opportunities to make connections that way too, and for our school to interact with other schools. One of our goals is to have an Idaho tournament, and we're going to invite some of the Boise campuses and BYU Idaho to our school if we get on the road through this club. So, do you guys have any questions for us or me?
Senator Worley.
I'm curious, do you guys have like the overhead done as far as the equipment goes? Like, are you guys all prepped for that and ready to get going, or are you just starting from scratch?
So one issue we are having is with access on campus computer labs. That was kind of helping me through that process. So we're working on that right now. We're just meeting with our laptops. So, we use the Wi-Fi. It's not the ideal situation with that many computers, but basically it's a free game anyways. So it's downloaded for free, played for free. So there's not much overhead. The only thing that there would be is if we got far enough in those tournaments, there would be travel costs. So.
Senator Fornerado.
Move to approve the League of Legends Club.
It has been moved by Senator Fornerado to approve the League of Legends Club, seconded by Senator Sidweeks. Unanimous has been called. Seeing no objections, the club is approved.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll now hear from President Smith for our president's report.
Hey guys, so mainly what's been going on campus this week is the same budget hearings that we've been hearing about. The SBCC finished all of their meetings for their line items last week. And so we are currently finishing up ours. Once again, like Kedrick and Jordan have said, please look at those and give us your guys' recommendations or if you have any questions or concerns, because when we come back, we will have a week in finance where we're going to have to finish the budget and give it to you guys, and then a week for you guys to look over it and debate, and then we have to approve it by then. So it's a fast process. We're trying to give you guys as much time as possible, but if we can be proactive, it's going to get this to go through a lot smoother. The only other thing I have to say about that is just make sure that you are talking to people about that, especially if we're deciding to reallocate funds to another group after we've cut groups. We want to make sure that we're reallocating those to the clubs or to the line item that we believe will best utilize that to benefit the students that we serve. So asking around about that's definitely beneficial. And then also I wanted to see if you guys were interested in sponsoring the event that we were told about. We don't necessarily have to just buy seats. We can also just sponsor them for like $200 out of our discretionary. So that way they could utilize that fund however they needed to without having to have the seats taken up, especially since it's an event from 9 to 5 and a lot of students may not be able to attend that. So if you guys buy a ticket, we wouldn't want that seat to be empty for 90% of the day, but we could still give them a sponsorship of so much out of our discretionary so that you guys could still show that you are supporting the event even if you aren't able to be in attendance. So if that's something you guys are interested in, we just have to, well, do we vote on that or how do we get it to the decision? So would we rather do it as a Senate or I can do it as an executive? I'd like to hear your guys' opinion on that.
Senator Connor.
I think we ought to do it as a Senate.
Okay.
And I like the sponsoring the idea instead of putting up seats, because if nobody goes, then we've sent money to them without any kind of return on that.
Okay.
Where if we sponsor it, we at least get a return that we've actually helped them front the cost.
So is everyone good with, we could do $100 or $200 to sponsor them? Is there a specific amount?
Senator Colister.
Would we be able to find the people that would want to go to this first and then decide the amount of money that we'd sponsor them or pay for their seat?
Well, technically, if we were sponsoring it, I don't think it would necessarily have to be for seats. We could just say that we are sponsoring the event with $200. So we would be a sponsor. We wouldn't be buying tickets.
I sponsor, it's like
Okay.
money versus buying seats.
100, 200.
Senator Withers.
Thank you, Vice President Belknap. Do you know how much remains inside the Senate discretionary fund?
I do not. I know that you guys haven't used as much as I have out of mine, but I don't know the exact amount. We could say that it's coming out of the Senate, and then if it doesn't work, I can always put some in from my discretionary too, to offset if there was any issue with that. So, because I know I haven't used all of my discretionary yet, because I have a little bit more than you guys do.
Senator Connor.
I say that if we do sponsor it, I say that we do it with the amount that says that we really mean business. And so I'd like to go with the 200.
That's typically what we sponsor the event at the library for as well, is $200 to buy a booth. So we just move to approve. All right, so what one of you guys would just do is move to approve the sponsorship of that group's event out of the discretionary for $200. Because I can't move because I'm not a senator.
Senator Sedgwick.
I move to approve $200 out of our discretionary towards Economic Club's New Tide event.
It has been moved by Senator Sidweeks to approve $200 for the Club A New Tides economic event, or Economic Club event, seconded by Senator Rosales.
Roll call.
Roll call has been called. I'll turn it over to Secretary Severson.
Senator Bral.
Yes.
Senator Barry.
Yes.
Senator Branham.
Yes.
Senator Colister.
Pass.
Senator Connor.
Yes.
Senator DeCall.
Yes.
Senator Dominguez.
Yes.
Senator Fornerado.
Yes.
Senator Hornsby. Senator Hurtado.
Sydney, I think what you're doing is such a great idea, and best of luck with your event. And with that, I say yes.
Senator Johnson.
Yes.
Senator Muir.
Yes.
Senator Ortiz.
Yes.
Senator Price.
Yes.
Senator Rosales.
Yes.
Senator Sidweeks.
Yes.
Senator Withers.
Yes.
Senator Worley.
Yes.
Senator Colister.
Yes.
Would anyone like to change their vote? Seeing none, it looks like the Economic Club is approved. Well, the $200 contribution to the Economics Club, or the A New Tides economic event, is approved.
The other things I wanted to talk to you guys about is I will be looking at doing resolutions to bring some of our bylaws into the students, our service stipends for both the executive and senators. So in our bylaws, it states that we are supposed to wear orange and black. That oftentimes doesn't happen. So I think it'd be great for next Senate to have it in their stipend. So that way we are upholding our bylaws that say we're going to do this, but it's also something that is in your checklist so that it keeps them accountable. The other thing that I wanted to do is because we put on the ambush, I think it should be in our stipend that we put on the ambush. It is in the executives, but it is not in the Senate. And I feel like that's something that is universal for senators and the executive. So those are two things that I would like to work with senators on. I don't like doing something unilaterally. So if you guys would like to pair with me to work on that, that would be great. And then the last one is it's currently election cycle. So please remind all of your constituents that tomorrow is the last day for voting. And also please keep in mind that the save the dates that were sent out to all of you guys for the banquet, you are required to be there as part of your service stipend. You have to be there. So keep that in mind and please put it on your calendar. We tried to send them out as early as possible so you guys would have as much notice as possible. You are allowed one guest. We will be sending out RSVPs, so do not RSVP already. There will be an RSVP time. This was just so that you guys could have it on your schedule. So that's all that we have.
Any questions? Seeing none. Thank you, President Smith. All right, we'll now move on to our chair committee reports, starting with our Senate Pro Tem Committee. Senator Withers.
Thank you, Vice President Belknap. The Pro Tem meeting, we met right after caucus, and we just gave an update on our appreciation tokens to other departments around campus, as well as some general committee updates from each committee head. We will be meeting the week following spring break, so next caucus meeting, after next caucus meeting. But other than that, that's all we have to report at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Withers. We will now hear from our Finance Committee. Senator Withers.
Thank you again, Vice President Belknap. So Finance had quite a few things that we discussed today, starting with our match deposit requests. We heard from various clubs. So for the Fine Art Club, they're asking to be matched for $64.33. The Student Physical Therapy Association for the maximum of $500. The University Honors Program for $205. The ISU Survey Club for $81.33. And the Scabbard and Blade Club for the maximum of $500. That totals $1,350.66. Does anyone have any questions on those match deposit requests? No? Seeing none, I move to approve today's match deposit request totaling $1,350.66.
Second.
It has been moved by Senator Withers to approve the match deposits totaling $1,350.66, seconded by Senator Sidweeks.
Roll call.
Roll call has been called. I will turn it over to Secretary Sievertson.
Senator Brawl.
Yes.
Senator Barry.
Yes.
Senator Branham.
Yes.
Senator Collister.
Yes.
Senator Connor.
Yes.
Senator DeCall.
Yes.
Senator Dominguez.
Yes.
Senator Fornerado.
Yes.
Senator Hurtado.
Yes.
Senator Johnson.
Yes.
Senator Muir.
Yes.
Senator Ortiz.
Yes.
Senator Price.
Yes.
Senator Rosales.
Yes.
Senator Sidweeks.
Yes.
Senator Withers.
Abstain.
Senator Worley.
Yes.
Would anyone like to change their vote? Seeing none, the match deposits totaling $1,350.66 are approved. Is approved.
In addition to that, Finance also heard 2 contingency fund requests this week. One from the American Society of Civil Engineers, who they want to go to a competition at U of I. The Finance Committee approved to hear this request starting next week following spring break, or excuse me, after the next Finance meeting after spring break. In addition, we also heard from Native Americans United, and due to the request not following the contingency fund guidelines, the Finance Committee voted not to hear this request for next week or the week following spring break. And then lastly, Finance just kept up our discussion on the budget, as you've heard both from myself, Officer Peterson, as well as President Smith. So does anyone have any questions in regards to what finance talked about today? No? Okay. Thank you, Vice President Belknap.
Thank you, Senator Withers. Next, we'll hear from our Rules Committee, Senator Branham.
Thank you. I have nothing new to report.
Next, we'll hear from the Appointments and Review Committee, Senator DeCall.
Thank you. We met yesterday in our last meeting to talk about the appreciation token. We are designing 2 appreciation token for the Student Success Center. We are giving them out on 18th of March. So Senator Dominguez and Senator Connor are working on the design part of those posters. That's all I have to report. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator DeCall. Next, we'll hear from our Outreach Committee, Senator Muir.
Thank you. First of all, I wanted to say thanks to everyone who helped out with the luncheon and who attended. It was greatly appreciated. And then next, I sent out the Spring Carnival sign up last week, but it didn't get around before the meeting ended. So I'm just going to send that around again. It's April 2nd, 11 to 2. We need to be there at 10:30. So we would have to leave here around 9:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Muir. Next, we'll hear from our Communications Committee, Senator Johnson.
Thank you. Today, as a committee, we finished writing a bill that just adds into the communication guidelines in the Senate rulebook. So look out for that in the next coming meetings. And also, we will be choosing a Senator of the Month and Club of the Month on March 30th. So if you have any feedback or input with that, please let me know. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Johnson. Last, we'll hear from our Service Committee, Senator Price.
Thank you. So we delivered our appreciation gift to the Involvement Center, and they received cupcakes. And then we had finished all our service events for the month of March, and we'll keep you updated for the month of April. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Price. We have nothing in old business. However, we do have new business. We have Bill 508 regarding the Chief of Staff. So, Senator Branham, if you could please read your bill.
Thank you. In the Senate, Bill 508 by Stacy Branham, College of Pharmacy, sponsored by Jordan Withers, Division of Health Sciences, Maria Ortiz, Division of Health Sciences, Mary Cruz Hurtado, Division of Health Sciences. This bill changes the scholarship reduction amount for the ASISU Chief of Staff. I move to send Bill 508 to the Rules Committee.
It is moved by Senator Branham to send Bill 508 to the Rules Committee, seconded by Senator Sidweeks.
Unanimous.
Unanimous has been called. Seeing no objections, we will send this bill to Rules. All right. Seeing as though that's the end of our news business, I'll now open the gallery once again if anyone would like to approach. Seeing none, if you would all please stand and join me in singing the ISU fight song.
ISU fight, go, 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 let's go.
Senator Sidweeks.
I move to adjourn.
It has been moved by Senator Sidweeks to adjourn, seconded by Senator Price.
Unanimous.
Unanimous has been called. We will adjourn after the roll call.
Senator Barral.
Here.
Senator Berry. Senator Branham. Here. Senator Collister.
Here.
Senator Connor.
Here.
Senator DeCall.
Present.
Senator Dominguez. Senator Fornerado.
Here.
Senator Hornsby. Senator Hurtado. Senator Johnson.
Present.
Senator Muir.
Here.
Senator Ortiz. Senator Price.
Here.
Senator Rosales. Senator Sidweeks.
Present.
Senator Withers.
Present.
Senator Worley.
Here.
Meeting adjourned.